Jaelan, welcome to Philadelphia. I know that you said you were so excited to be here, and it's only been a short amount of time, but how have you been getting acclimated in the very short time that you've been here so far?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was excited day one. I mean, talk to me now. Like, this is literally the greatest thing that's happened to me in my whole life, probably. But it's just awesome. I mean, the guys are awesome. Everybody's been super welcoming. I love the environment here. I love the vibe here. City of Philly's, giving me a very warm welcome. I got about 20 times the amount of Instagram likes that I ever got on a post before from the Philly fans, so shout out to y'all. But yeah, it's been great so far, getting out there practicing. I love the weather here. I love the locker room. Like, everything's awesome.
What makes it the greatest moment? You think it's the greatest moment. Why is that?
I just think it's a pivotal point in my life and in my career. I have a baby on the way, a little boy coming. Coming here. Obviously contract year next year. I'm taking it day by day, but I just truly feel like this is an amazing opportunity for me to come in, and I'm just grateful to be able to do everything I can to help the team too.
What makes this the right place for you in that pivotal moment in your life and career?
I think you gotta kind of wait and see how it shakes out. But just off the rip, obviously an incredibly talented team, winning culture, a great defense, great defensive scheme, great defensive front, great DBs. I think everything is just kind of matching up for me to come in and try to be as productive as possible. Obviously being able to be on a contender, hopefully going and win another Super Bowl. So, I think it's just, like I said, I'm very blessed to be here and have this opportunity.
On this scheme, what do you like about this system?
Up front, I think we have a lot of freedom and a lot of just ability to kind of just pin our ears back and have that aggressive rushing mindset. I think I had some good success in Vic's scheme back in 23. And I'm just excited to be a part of this. And I think a lot of that credit also goes to the other guys on the defensive line and, on the defense in general. So, yeah, it's looking great so far.
Your locker is right next to a legend, and Brandon Graham right over there. What is it like to be on the same team as him?
I mean, BG's been awesome to me, man. Obviously he's a legend in this league, and he's been able to. We've been talking a lot every day already, and we have a lot in common. And he's just been putting me on game to how this team is and what to expect, and we're excited to play with each other for sure.
What conversations have you had with Vic Fangio? Obviously, having the relationship with him of what your role's going to be in this defense.
Vic isn't a man of many words, so there haven't been a ton of extensive conversations, but I think it's just like we understand each other, so I think we're on the same page.
Are you able to kind of jump back into the defense having played in it before?
Yeah, I think there's an adjustment. Obviously, it's been 2 years removed, and I was part of a different defensive scheme these last 2 years, really. So it's definitely still a learning curve. I can't say I'll just jump in and immediately know everything, but I'm definitely working diligently to learn the playbook and to get acquainted with the guys.
What do you think you can bring to this defense?
Really just tenacity, tenacity and hard work ethic. Obviously when I get on the field, when I'm at my best, I feel like I'm a very productive and disruptive player. But most of all, I think my effort stands out, and that's something that coming here, having the opportunity to prove myself, I think is going to be a great thing for me. Almost like a chip on my shoulder, you could say. I'm just excited to go out there and work my.
I know you said you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but is this somewhere you could see yourself long term?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I would just love to be in any position to where I'm around great guys on a great team with a great culture, and that's definitely what the Eagles organization is. If they would want to have me back, I would love to be here. But like I said, just taking it day by day. What's most important is taking care of business right now.
Jaelan, how did you find out that you were being traded here? What was your initial reaction?
I'll get you too. Basically, heard some murmurs in the media and stuff, and then was talking to my agent, and then ultimately got a call from the interim GM of the Dolphins, and he kind of let me know that something was kind of being put together, and then ultimately was actually getting on a plane. The plane was about to take off, and I got a call from the owner, just kind of let me know what was happening.
Hey, John, you mentioned a baby on the way, changing weather. How's the lifestyle adjustment outside of football?
I got to see what Philly's talking about, man. Y'all got to put me on the good spots, the good entertainment, all that stuff. But I've heard there's a lot of great food, so I'm excited for that. And ultimately, just exploring the city, I think, will be a pretty cool thing.
You talked about your trash talk. What do you hear about joint practice?
That was probably the best, quickest roast I've had, so I'm kind of proud of that one. What I remember from that joint practice is just, the Eagles obviously are tough, physical team. You know, a gritty bunch of guys. So that's what I'm expecting here as well.
So many of your snaps in recent years have come on the left side. Do you have a comfort level on that side more so, or why was that?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately in the system it just kind of worked out. I love rush on the left, but I'll do whatever is needed for the team. So.
Good job. Just middle of the season. How weird is it? How nice is it to get a few wins added to your ledger?
Yeah, man. Definitely was an adjustment, and I think, you know, it was something. I think coming here everybody's been very welcoming. You know, learning a lot, but it's been a great environment to learn in, and just a lot of fun, honestly. The guys are super tight knit, and so just being welcomed into this culture and you know, kind of learning everything about it and becoming a part of it. You know, I'm excited to be able to do that.
Do you feel like you needed to change the scenery? Is it something that you kind of felt like is good for you?
You know, that's a hard question to answer. I think, you know, hindsight is like 20/20. You know, I enjoyed my time there. You know, it was a good 5 years. And although the wins didn't, you know, add up like we wanted to, I definitely learned a lot, grew as a player, and made a lot of special relationships that I cherish. And so I'm just happy to be here now. I'm excited to contribute to this team.
How do you approach kind of like where you fit in? I guess it's kind of a wait and see, just kind of see what the coaches want to do with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here and I'm here to contribute in whatever way they see fit, and you know, I'm excited to be able to do that, and looking forward to you know, whenever that time comes, to be able to contribute.
Now, you mentioned safety. Is that something you've done much of? Is it something you're comfortable with? You think you could, you know?
Yeah, man. I think you know, that's on the coaches. But again, you know, like I said, I'm willing and able to do whatever's asked of me to help, you know, continue to bring wins to this organization, and contribute the best way possible.
What was for your first practice like? Just probably don't know everyone's name yet, I guess.
Yeah, but you know, everybody again has been super welcoming, and as far as like introducing and meeting new people and everything like that, practice was cool, and it was good to be out on the grass and run around and, you know, still learning and all that stuff. But, you know, it's nothing like learning on the fly and being able to get those reps out there in live action. I feel like for me that's the best way that I can learn, and so, you know, I'm doing that to the best of my ability.
Did it help coming in during the bye week? You had a little extra time?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And, you know, it just so happened that, you know, it was on a bye week with the Jets as well, so, you know, it worked out.
Why is that tree in the middle of the field?
It's special, I guess. I guess I never really asked. I've been there for a minute and I never really asked. But I think it's special to Woody. Yeah. He wanted to keep it there, but I won't speak for him. Yeah. But I think there is some significance to why it's there.
What has the last couple of days been like, finding out about the trade and coming here?
I mean, it's, you know, I've heard it was in the works for a while. You know, I'm just glad it finally came to fruition. I feel like I'm like at a new school or something, you know, just meeting new people and, you know, I mean, although it is fun though, because I know most of the guys in here, so, you know, it's easy.
You played basically under Christian Parker when you both were in Green Bay. What have your conversations with him been like since you've been traded, and are you excited to work with him again?
Oh yeah, I mean, me and CP, we've met every day I've been here, like 5 times a day. I mean, I think he's my best friend at this point. I don't know. It's been good to, you know, be back with him and, you know, get the coaching, get the technique, and get the extra work. You know, like we used to do.
How are you feeling physically?
Physically, I'm feeling good, really good. Yeah.
Why do you think in Baltimore things didn't seem to work out in terms of you getting on the field?
Well, you know, I think they just had some guys they wanted to play, some younger guys. You know, but I'm excited about this opportunity here.
So it wasn't a physical thing. You feel like ready to go. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What do you think you can bring to this, you know, to the secondary?
Secondary. I'm just gonna bring leadership. I'm gonna bring some energy and bring some swag. You know, confidence. And hopefully we all can feed off one another, feed off that. and you know, take this thing to the next level.
You and AJ had a pretty good battle in Brazil last year.
Mm-hmm.
What's your relationship like with, you know, having covered him and Devontae even?
Oh yeah, I mean it's been cool. When I seen AJ, I came up and I hugged him and I said, you know, we not in Brazil anymore, you know. So it was cool, man. He laughed about it, and you know, all those guys are cool, man. It's a respect thing, that's all.
As you got here and you saw who the first game was against, what was your reaction?
Oh man, I was like, wow, this is amazing, dream come true, you know.
Do you feel like you need to prove to people that you're still the player that you were back there in Green Bay?
I mean, you know, that'd be nice, man. But I'm more into proving myself, you know, that I can be where I know I can be, you know, where I am. So
You have no doubts that you're still that player?
yeah, I don't have no doubts.
We're spending so much of your career in Green Bay. What is it going to be like for you personally, just being back?
I mean, it's gonna be nostalgia. You know, it's gonna be fun seeing the guys that I grew up with, and you know, being in the town that, you know, pretty much raised me in the NFL, you know, that's always fun. You know, but I'm excited to be back in Lambeau on this side of the thing, you know.
It sounds like Howie had interest in you before. This offseason, were the Eagles a team you were considering?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, you know, this is my favorite team growing up as a kid, so, you know, it's like I said, it's a dream come true.
As a follow-up to that, in your bio, it says you were born in Philly. What's your Philly background?
Yeah, I was born here in Philly. I was born in Jefferson, and you know, my mom was born here. She's from here, so we got a lot of family here. I'm familiar. I used to come visit every summer up until, you know, high school football started. So.
Did you have a favorite Eagle corner or player?
Man, I love Deshaun Jackson, Michael Vick, Dawkins, Westbrook. I mean, there's so many Jeremiah Trotter. I just like the Eagles, you know.
You remember Lito Shepherd?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What was your family's reaction? Hi.
Oh, hey.
What was your family's reaction when you signed here to go?
Oh, they were so excited, you know. When they heard the conversations that I was coming here, my mom couldn't stop smiling, like, you know. So, I mean, it's always good to see them happy. You know, they just want to see me playing and back to myself.
You said your mom's from Philly. Did she grow up an Eagles fan?
Oh, yeah. Definitely, yeah. She still is the Eagles fan. I've been in Green Bay 7 years, so, you know.
I imagine it'd be sweet to have a role on Monday night, right? Not just go back with the...
Definitely, you know.
What do you think? What's your expectation?
My expectations?
Along those lines.
No, I mean, you know, I don't expect much, but I expect the best guys to be on the field.
Obviously, you know Jordan Love and their receivers really well and everything. What's kind of like the challenge, you know, for these guys going up against them, even though they have done it twice in, last year?
Yeah, no, I mean, the challenge is obvious. You know, they're good offense. They're really good on third down. I mean, you know, those guys are a talented group. You know, so you know, with that, you got to be focused. And that's all.
You feel like you have a real opportunity here to get on the field and to excuse me. To show that you're the player that you believe you are?
Yep. I have a real opportunity, yes.
What did you know about Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean before you got here, and how do you feel like you can be a positive influence on them?
Well, I knew Quinyon, you know, from last year when he came in. You know, I congratulated him, and we've been kind of talking here and there. I knew Cooper just because, you know, we got the same birthday, so I mean, like, you know, that's my guy, you know, so that's how I know them. But you know, those guys are good already, so hopefully I can add something else.
How'd you spend your birthday? Cooper had a pick six on his birthday.
Man, how did I spend my birthday? I'll forget, man. So long, man. Not as fun as that, though. I'll tell you that much.
Also, Saquon's birthday, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I apologize if this was already asked. You battled those injuries in Green Bay, and you had the knee issue, and you had surgery. You think you came back a little early at all? Like, was it rushing into this past season with Baltimore?
Rushing? I wouldn't say rushing. You know, it was an adjustment though, just because I didn't have those reps and OTAs to go through football speed. You know, it was more so like I was working out and training, but you know, once you get on the football field, you know, it's different movements, it's different type of actions that I had to go through. So it wasn't rushing, but no one really knew because I didn't do OTAs.
So how do you feel now, generally, compared to maybe a whole lot of uncertainty?
This is the best I felt.
Yeah. When did you start feeling this way? Like, how long did it take into the season?
I would say probably around like week 3. You know, week 3, week 4, going into week 4.
How long does it take to kind of learn a defense and feel comfortable in this scheme? How long was that process?
You know, I think it's just more so getting some plays that I'm familiar with, and then once I get the plays that I'm familiar with, then we can build on that. So I mean, you know, I'm here all day, so I'm learning.
Ever since 19, 20, you've been an All-Pro, top of the league type corner. What perspective do you have from this past year that maybe you didn't have when you were kind of the top of the depth chart every day?
I mean, you know, I think I've noticed that no matter how high you are, you know, sometimes you can be humble, you know, and you know, it's about the younger guys that's coming up, you know, because they're, you know, obviously they're the future. So however I can affect them in a positive way, I think that's important because, you know, they're next up. I'm also still next up. I'm still young, so, you know, I'm just excited for the opportunity.
And that's running my route, catching the ball, my opportunity to come, make the most of it. You know, so I'm not going to get into too much on that.
The game also had a lot more sort of in-breakers, balls thrown over the middle. Do you feel like that is something
I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach. Y'all asking me coaches questions. Like, if you ask me how I feel about the game on Monday, I'm ready to go. Got a good opponent, you know. So.
Do you think this offense has just scratched the surface of what it can be through these first 8 games?
Yeah. Like I think we're headed trending in the right direction. Like, guys, I'm not a coach, so.
Do you have history with Jaire?
Yeah, that's my son. No. We joke with each other. I'm glad he came. He's extremely funny. I always thought he was extremely funny, you know. So yeah, I'm glad we got him.
The Packers, while you weren't focused on the outside noise, you have always, at least publicly to us, expressed how you don't want to play anymore. You want to play here. So, how surprising is it that there was so much speculation about it?
Again, it's not that I was surprised. I didn't know. You know, like I said, I was only focused on my family and being present and getting healthy. You know, so.
How did you spend that bye week, and how did it help you prepare for the rest of this year?
Just getting healthy and again running around with my kids. You know.
How are you using me but not using me?
I'm not getting to all that. I'm just gonna, you know, focus on this week. You know, we got Green Bay, great opponent. You know, so.
Speaking of Green Bay, this is rare that you guys get to see an opponent that's out of your division twice last year.
Right.
How does that familiarity help you guys preparing for this? I promise it's not a coach's question.
No,
just for you.
It's not. I appreciate the question. I mean, obviously we played them, and so we are familiar with some of the things that they do, but you know, it's different faces now, you know, and you have to prepare differently as well. So we got our hands full. They have a really good D-line, man. They added Micah, you know, Rashawn Gary, so that makes our job a lot harder too as well. So we got to speed up our process and be what we need to be. So.
When there is so much noise about you personally out there, what's your process to either avoid hearing about it or not worrying about it?
I don't have a process. It is what it is, you know. So it just kind of come with it, you know. And I learned that and I accepted that. So.
Green Bay, you're seeing an opponent that you guys are very familiar with in Michael Parsons, but first time in Green Bay.
Yeah.
What is it going to be like seeing him on this different team, and how does he disrupt offenses?
Just one of those guys that you have to game plan for, because you know we say he's a game wrecker. So you know, for us, it's all about executing our plan up front. In the run game and in the passing game, because that's, you know, the pass game is where he's done a lot of damage and where he can be a big threat. So for us, it's just about executing up front, especially in that pass protection game, and trying to make sure that he doesn't disrupt it.
You played a lot of football, obviously, throughout your career, but you know, does it ever add any excitement playing primetime Monday night under the lights, that kind of stuff?
Nah, it's just next game.
Just next game?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's just the next game. I honestly hate night games because you have to wait all day.
Yeah.
So that part of the game sucks. I do like when we get to travel and be together as a group. That's what provides us time to just hang out and be around the guys. So that part I do like, but if we had it our way, we'd have prime time at 1 p.m. Prime time at 1 p.m. would be awesome.
What did you see from the new guys at practice today on defense?
Man, I didn't see too much of the guys, the cornerbacks, but I did see some work with Jaelan. So that was awesome. Just seeing him and knowing what we've gone, what we've seen when we've gone up against him in Miami. just seeing him now in the Birds uniform is weird. It's just weird, super weird. So, you know, it is cool to finally see that and seeing him being a part of us. But other than that, that's the only thing I saw. So.
What does it say about Howie Roseman and this team that you're 6-2 and you're making improvements to the defense like that?
That's just Howie doing Howie things. You know, I got to do my job at left tackle, and he's got to do his job as GM. So, you know, I think he does a fantastic job, and you know, what a way, you know, to kick off. Was it post-bye? Is that even a thing? Kicking off post-bye?
How was your bye week? I know you did some giving back to the community, getting good R&R, did something fun. Sing, maybe record an album.
Man, honestly, I can't even remember what I did. The only thing I do remember was that my wife and I went away for 2 nights to the Catskills up in New York. So it was cool. Got away for a little bit and came back down to support Saquon and his gala, Hurdle for Hope. So that was cool. And then that was really it, because I was here the first half of the week just working out. So.
Jordan, do you remember anything with Phillips in that joint practice where he had that big day and they gave him the jersey, headlight player of the day?
I don't know. They gave him a fucking jersey? Sorry. Oh, the orange jersey. That's right. Now I honestly forgot about all that because all I could remember was trying to catch my breath and hydrate. It was hot down there in Miami. It was a hot day. And also, because it was hot, I was just seeing a blur. It was just like, shoo, shoo, shoo. That was a joke, guys. Relax.
Jordan, we've talked a lot this season about getting to that balanced offense. You're coming off a win where you've talked about you finally achieved that with the running game and the passing game. Yeah. What gives you encouragement that we're going to see that the rest of the season, you think?
I think just the guys that we have and the improvements that we've made, you know, from the Minnesota game to the Giants game, and continue to stack those blocks. I think even though we just had a bye week, I think knowing that the guys in the locker room and who we have, that's what gives me the confidence going forward that we're going to build off that. Just laying that foundation. And so I think this game plan, you know, which is our first day back in the building, I don't count Monday. I count today because it's the first day that we get to game plan and see what we're going to run up against. I think what we have in so far is very complementary to, you know, both the run and the passing game, but it gives me a lot of confidence heading into this week.
Yeah, that was tough to see. Obviously, we both went to South Dakota State as well, so seeing him get injured, especially with the year he was having, is tragic. Wish him the best, and you know, he'll be back next year ready to keep doing what he's been doing.
Thank you, Barry. At this point in your career, is the bye week, have you figured out how to use it best?
Each year comes with its different things. I was pretty healthy this year, so I gotta just fully get my body right and move. Other years, you know, you're nursing injuries, trying to get back. But I always just stay here during bye week, enjoy the time, watch some football on the weekend, and just kind of relax.
It was such a good offensive game before the bye. Do you feel like some of those things can carry over after?
Yeah, I think you know, it's middle of the season. Seems like you look at the records of every team and they're just kind of all right there. It seems like this next month and a half, people start to pull away one way or the other, and you know, I like where we're headed.
You remember the Packers tight end tush push last year? I don't know if they brought him in motion and they put him behind center and ran it.
It makes sense, but no, I don't remember.
Would you like to be that guy? At some point?
It's in the playbook.
Okay.
You know, I'd like to go under center. I'd like to, you know, get a couple passes called where I'm throwing it. I'd like to run the ball. You know, we got a lot of playmakers on this team, so and Jalen's really good at the tush push, so I don't know if we'll take it away from him.
I'm excited. I'm ready. You know, it's all hands on deck when we come out here, so you know, anytime, especially with the guys that we got in this locker room, I hope that they feel at home. I hope that they, you know, just ready to work and, you know, give it their all. You know, because at the end of the day, this is all open hand. We come in here. It's the feeling, it's the camaraderie that we have. You know, we just want to be able to extend that to the guys that just got here and make them feel at home.
What do you do to make them feel at home when they get here?
Shoot, be yourself. You know, get to know these guys. You know, it's only but so much you can do. You know, let them feel their way out. But at the end of the day, I want them to understand that, like, you know, I'm an open book. Whatever you get. I'm sure all y'all know, like, I'm just be as real as it gets. So, you know, just the opportunity that we had to just get time, get to know each other. You know, any time that's being put in, that's going to be translated onto the field. I believe that.
Obviously, you guys treat every game the same, but, you know, traveling down to Lambeau, an historic site, you know, prime time Monday Night Football, they have a little extra juice going down there to do that?
Yeah. I would say so. Me personally, I'm excited. You know, this is a legendary field we're going to. You know, I'm not going to get caught up in all the lights and stuff, but, you know, it's Lambeau that we're talking about. It's my first time going to Lambeau. It's my third time playing the Green Bay Packers. So, you know, obviously, you know, we got to know these guys over the course of a year last year, and, you know, they got new stuff. But at the end of the day, I think we just have to go out there and do our job and do what we do. And then just, you know, continue being who we are. You know, I think the last couple games we kind of got a good footing. We kind of got the ball rolling a little bit, and then we just got to continue on to get going.
You guys have been, you know, historically good off of a bye. Like you just said, you guys want to keep the momentum rolling from the wins that you just had. Is there anything you do in particular to stay ready, you know, in the rest versus rust debate?
Like in terms of like the bye
like
week?
With the amount of time off, yeah.
I would say, and that goes for anybody, just take advantage of your time off. Bye week is a week to decompress, relax, kind of get your feet on yourself, but it's not a bye week because you have to stay ready. You have to keep working. I'm not going to sit there and say I worked out the whole week, but, you know, I had about 3 workouts, and I think that's enough to kind of keep my body in shape, you know, keep continuing on, stay working. And, you know, it's just an opportunity to kind of get everything, and it came at a perfect time. You know, every bye week comes at a perfect time every year, but especially in the middle of the season, it comes at a perfect time.
Jordan, what kind of message does it send to the locker room? Like every year since you've been here, they pretty much traded for somebody at the deadline. You know, what does that tell you guys, like, as far as going for, you know, another Super Bowl and all that?
I mean, shoot, it's like we don't rebuild, we reload. So, you know, we say that saying at Georgia all the time, but I really truly believe that here. But like I said, it doesn't matter who's in the locker room. It doesn't mean who's better in the locker room. Like, I'm not going to be here forever. Like, you know, one day I'm going to be done playing. But at the end of the day, you know, the guys that we do have, we need to establish what we got going. We need to establish a connection and just establish, you know, the type of style that we play. You know, depending on where they come from, they're not really accustomed to the, you know, what we have going on here. So, you know, you just want to make sure that transition is easy. And I'm sure Jaelan and, you know, Jaire and all those guys, they understand, like, they know how it's going, so I can't do nothing but just help.
How do you feel about a cold weather game?
Sorry. Like, at the end of the day, like straight up, like, at the end of the day, everybody makes a cold weather game as much, you know, bigger than what it is, but at the end of the day, we in Philly, it's going to be cold in Philly. It's not like we, you know, no, not to him, but it's not like we playing in Miami, but at the end,
he likes the weather here.
I mean, well, like, hey, man, come on with it. But, like I said, though, like, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Like, you know, I feel like if you psych yourself out and you're like, oh, it's going to be cold, you already got your mind made up. So we go in there. I mean, it's just another cold weather game. I played in Chicago, so, like, you know, after that, I feel like anything, be straight.